All right, all right. Welcome back to another episode of Jimmy and Jake's USL adventure. Jake, how we doing, bud?
Doing good. It is hot here in El Paso. It's gonna be in the 100s for the rest of the week. So just trying to survive.
Excellent. I can't wait to experience that. Um, all right. Well, getting back into the swing of things here. I know we did the Jägermeister Cup episode last week, and uh, Jake ran solo for an episode, but getting back onto the regular season here. But of course, we can't go into any of the games until we start with a Jake's "How's your touch, buddy?" All right. So this week's "How's your touch" comes courtesy of USL Tactics. So I'm going to ask you if you can name and for extra points if you can put them in order, but if you can name the top five USL Championship clubs by average attendance for 2025.
I'm gonna say New Mexico United,
Okay, that's one of them.
Louisville,
That's another one. Yep.
Detroit.
No,
Oh, really?
correct.
Is that a Keyworth issue or?
No,
Uh,
I guess based on the rest of how this list is going to show out, yes, they would not be able to qualify for this list even if they were selling out. They're actually down a little bit this year. But
uh,
no, not Detroit,
it's gonna be like a sneaky one, huh? Rhode Island.
not Rhode Island though they were close. I mean
Yeah.
they only have two games so far at home, but yeah, they a little bit skewed there. But there's two
Oh,
two that you should know and one that you would be a surprise.
I'm gonna go out on a limb again, and I think it's because of those first two games at the Coliseum. Oakland.
Oakland is in the top five, yes.
25,000 does a lot for your
For your
fucking
average?
average. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And then I will say San Antonio.
No, that's a good guess.
Damn. Okay.
So top five by attendant average attendance for 2025. Number five is Louisville at 89.80 average. Number four is Indy 11 at 92.19. Number three is Sacramento Republic at 95.98. Number two is New Mexico at 97.02. And number one on average right now is Oakland at 10,202. We'll see where they fall at the end of the season, but that's the top five. And then quickly, just for balance sake, I also want to provide you the bottom five. I'll give you a guess who's the least attended team in the USL Championship. Just this one should be pretty easy.
Lexington.
No, no,
Oh,
Lexington's actually doing pretty decent. They're middle
yeah.
of the table. No, number one is Pitbull Stadium in Miami FC.
Oh, duh.
They are only averaging just over 1,000 at 1127. They would be like sixth or seventh in the USL League One for attendance. But the other four on the list here, one of them is surprising based on the other teams performing, but the second lowest is Loudoun United at 1885. Even if you build it, they're still not coming right now, which is a little concerning for that club. Number three, another one, if you build it, they're still not coming. North Carolina FC at 2316. Number four is the Las Vegas Lights at 2522. And number five, Monterey Bay at 3288. Those are some of the other ones that were, or those are the bottom five as far as attendance for USL Championship so far this season. So, you know, lots of lots of growth for some of those clubs, and we it's not the end all be all, but for a lot of these clubs, their biggest revenue maker is attendance. Right now there's I don't believe there's revenue sharing amongst the media streaming rights for USL Championship. So as we kind of go into the next generation of exploring Division One status for your USL, tracking some of this attendance and clubs that might make it versus clubs that might not is certainly important. Um, so this week, nice, even balance for us. It was all Eastern Conference games and all Western Conference games, no crossover here. Each of us had six games. I'm gonna let you go ahead and start with your first game. So where are you taking us on the first stop of your journey this week?
So just real quick, before I forget, I think with Loudon, they suffer the same way that Bobcats suffered in that area where they're outside of the DMV enough to the point of where people don't necessarily want to go there. And then DC United has such a following there that if there's ever shared game days, people are always going to pick DCU over Loudon the same way they did the Bobcats. There was people picking Loudon over the Bobcats at certain points too. So um, we are going to head to the wretched hive of scum and villainy known as Albuquerque, New Mexico, Isotopes Park. So I like the attendance thing because that's kind of what I've started doing now. I'm going to start adding in how many people attended the game. Um, this is at Isotopes Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico. 9,862 fans got in there for this match. The game ends 1-1 against Colorado Springs Switchbacks. New Mexico United's fairly typical game for them. 65% of the ball, 11 shots, only one on target. Not very typical, but 438 passes, 35% of the ball for Colorado, 9 shots, 2 on target, and 203 passes. So the goals, 22nd minute, Marlon Vargas. If you haven't watched this goal, go watch it. Crazy volley, really, really good shot. And then in the 41st minute, as I put, you guys will see in my power rankings, maybe New Mexico felt bad for him and just wanted to hook him up with a goal. So we got an own goal from the usually solid Kalen Ryden. The storyline of this one is going to be the hangover continues, but probably not why you think, or not as bad as you think. I'm sorry. So last season, as you know, Colorado Switchbacks won the title. They finished second in the West, and this year currently they're ninth in the West. So we're going to go over how the stats differ from last year to this year. It'll be a little bit of a slog, so just bear with me. 2024, 1.5 goals per against 1.3 this season. 1.1 goals against to 1.6 this season. 49.6 possession to 51.8, so actually an improvement. 4.3 shots on target to 3.1 this season, so dipping down. 316 passes to 317 passes, so pretty much right there. 7.6 interceptions per game, 7.5 this year. 2.6 saves, 2.2 this year. And then this is when you start getting into the things that are kind of showing what's going on, I guess. 13.6 fouls last season to 14.1 this season, but they only had 3 red cards last season. This year they already have 4. So some of the things that I honestly believe it is, losing Ronaldo Damas is killing him. I know he's not had the best season in Birmingham this year, but 14 goals, 2 assists across the entire year last season. Discipline has gone down, and the West is just better this year. Locomotive is on the rise. New Mexico is still hot. Phoenix is heating up. Tulsa has got their shit clicking. This league is they're just gonna devour each other, and you can see it's still really, really close within the table. So maybe Colorado figures it out later on in the season and gets it going. I mean, they have championship pedigree, returning players, stuff like that. So I just wanted to point that out because I found that fascinating because I went into it looking for stats that were going to say like, oh, this team is way worse than last year. But in reality, they're very, very similar to last year's totals. So just rotten luck, quit getting red cards, and find someone who can score for you.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Tejada, right, for switchbacks hasn't been scoring as much either. So I think that like I'd have to look back, but I know that both the Switchbacks and Rhode Island, right, the 2 finalists from last year for the championship game, both those teams weren't exactly tearing up the table this point in the year last year. So there's you have to watch teams in this league can tend to get hot. We're still only for a lot of those teams they've only played maybe a third of their games so far, so there's a ton of season to go, and just the nature of USL where your roster isn't necessarily super consistent year over year. Lots of guys moving around. Sometimes it just takes a couple of games to get those connections going again. So lots of time. We'll see where they're at the end of the season. All right, so you mentioned Ronaldo Damas. We're actually going to go and see him here in Birmingham. Birmingham Legion hosting the Indy 11. Um, Common theme from this week: a 1-0 game. Indy gets the win here. They score in the fourth minute from Lindley, and then proceeded to hold on for dear life. So the headline here is Birmingham dominate at home but can't find the net after conceding early. Birmingham ends up with 21 shots total, 6 on target, 60% of the possession, versus Indy, only 6 shots, only 1 on target, 40% possession. Um, it and really this game really sort of sums up where the struggle is for Birmingham. They were scoring early in the season. They couldn't defend anybody, and now, they can't score, and they have way too many talented players to not be scoring. Um, so, for them, that sort of leaves them. So I want to update everybody where we're at with the table and kind of form for these teams. So for Birmingham, that leaves them in 10th place, so outside of the playoff spots, and only 5 points in their last 5 matches in the championship. For Indy, just above them in ninth place. Not much better, only 6 points in five. Both teams, certainly have the talent to be in the playoff conversation, and there's still a lot of time left. But for both of them, I think they're probably both disappointed from where they're sitting right now, as we sit here, third of the way through the season.
Okay, so we are going to San Antonio, Texas, Toyota Field. Attendance for this game 5,393. San Antonio defeats Las Vegas Lights 3-0. 47% of the ball for San Antonio, 17 shots, 8 on target, 328 passes. 53% of the ball for Las Vegas, 10-3 with 369 passes. So goals, 13th minute, Luis Paredes gets a penalty goal. Luke Hawkinson in the 27th minute, and Jorge Hernandez in the 61st minute. So the story of this one is Vegas sacks Antonio Nocerino after 12 matches. Nocerino, just so you guys can get to know him, former center defensive midfielder who played for the likes of Juve, Milan, Palermo, and Orlando City. That giant-ass place. Compared to one of my all-time favorite players, Renato Gattuso, when he was at Milan. His first season managing was in 2024 with Miami.
Not a
3
good
wins.
resume.
No. He got in there because of the ownership, just loves,
Sure.
is Italian and loves Italians. 3 wins, 2 draws, 27 losses, and he declined his option. So he goes on to join Las Vegas this offseason. This season, he's got 3 wins, 3 draws, 6 losses. And they've just been a mess with a 5-match losing streak. 0.6 goals per match. That's 24th, a.k.a. dead last in the league. And 1.5 goals against, which is 16th in the league. We've had discussions over the defensive and goalkeeping capabilities of this team, and that has been issues. They've gotten boat raced in multiple games, but 0.6 goals per match is just fucking pathetic. So
7 goals on the season. That's it.
That's bad, man.
That's
So
really
bad. We'll see you later. Nocerino, another great player, terrible manager. We'll see where he ends up.
For sure. Yeah, no, it had to happen at this point. It's crazy that that Arozarena is still tied for the top of the league with 5 shutouts. And they're in this position. So hopefully they're able to get somebody to step in, get that new manager bounce.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of constipated teams, we're gonna go to Hartford for the Athletic hosting North Carolina FC. Continuing the Eastern Conference theme this week of a 1-0 game. North Carolina gets the win here, 1-0. Hartford just woeful at home. They get another red card and they lose at the death. Dolabella scores in the fourth minute of stoppage time to take all 3 points. It's not like North Carolina was exactly blowing them out of the water, but a win is a win is a win. So for Hartford, only 6 shots, none on target, 48% possession. The red card didn't come until the 68th minute, so it's not like they were playing short the entire game. They had it for most of the game, just bad. North Carolina only 8 shots, only 3 on target, 52% possession. It was a hard game to watch, but for North Carolina, a win on the road and they move forward. So that leaves Hartford in 11th place. It's only 3 points out of the last 5 matches. And then for North Carolina, they're all the way up to fourth place now, and they're on a 4-game win streak, 12 points in the last 5. So it's not pretty, but in this league, sometimes winning not pretty is important. And North Carolina is going to take it and move forward. So, all right, where are we headed next in the Western Conference?
NCFC should have better attendance. Like, I've been to Cary, North Carolina. Like they like sports like lacrosse and soccer there. And I mean, why would you want to drive all that way to Charlotte to see your boy Tim Ream and that bozo Zaha?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they can't generate people there. Wake Med Park seems to be a nice park. I don't know
Yeah.
how the NWSL team does as far as attendance. I've never looked at that, but it seems like they just haven't really been able to generate the interest there. I know there's a lot of Carolina is a soccer, I would say a soccer hotbed. Like
Yeah.
but I think there's a lot of different teams pulling on some of that from across the state. So maybe that's part of it, but we'll see. It's only their second season in the championship. And hopefully they're able to keep growing. So,
Well, second consecutive.
well, I mean, I apologize. Second consecutive but in the way this league goes, you never know where that could head. So.
I still remember being dumbfounded seeing that headline, like, we're going to self-regulate, or yeah, we're going to self-relegate.
Relegate, yeah.
Like, shit, man. All right. So we are heading to Monterey Bay to Cardinal Stadium. They had a attendance of 2,420. Monterey Bay welcomes Lexington to town and has a get-right game against one of the worst teams in the league. Monterey Bay wins 2-1. 43% of the ball, 10 shots, 5 on target, 227 passes. To Lexington's 57% of the ball, 13-3, and 327. So goals in this one. In the 7th minute, Nicholas Firmino hits a free kick. Adam Larson in the 20th minute gets one back for Monterey Bay, and they go on to get the win on Anton Horup's penalty in the 75th minute. So story for this one is going to be a segment everyone knows and loves. It's What Would Jimmy Do? WWJD. Yeah. So we're going to talk about the shot for a sec. Like, Firmino lines up, free kick on the left side, 3-man wall. He shoots it up, curls it, goes back to the left and into the top left corner. Goalkeeper can't get really close to it at all. So things I want to ask on this is not necessarily like, oh, what would you do? Would you block it in this situation? Because that looked like a pretty tough fucking shot to block. So my questions on this is, how do you set up your wall? Do you cheat to one side? And what advice do you have for defending these types of free kicks?
I mean, first of all, like I thought 3-man was short. A 4-man wasn't going to stop it per se, but I like just based on the position of where the ball was, and the quality of players in this league, I'm going to go 4-man, and I'm doing that because a 3-man allows the opportunity for somebody to do like a more driven shot, just either side if you don't have them there. You have enough players. There's no reason why a fourth player couldn't be in there. So I'd probably do that. And even though the ball was off to to the goalie's right, but to the left of the goal, I'm probably playing a little more central. Campuzano is a fantastic goalie, and he can cover a lot of space. And this ball was struck perfectly. It was going to go in probably irregardless. But that's how I'm setting it up. So initially, You have four-man wall. You get to that right post, keeper side right post. Set the guy up exactly on probably the outside of his leg on the ball. It's a right-footed kicker, so I'm not worried about him bending it the other way around. He's not Roberto Carlos. He's not inside outing it. Um, and then I'm probably standing a little more centrally, but I'm also not as athletic. So that's really where the setup would have been. But based on the flight pattern of the ball, like it was a perfect up and down and bending ball. It was
Mm,
hit with pace. It was like, I mean, hats off to him. It was a really really well struck ball.
yeah,
But I would have gone with a four-man wall, and I probably would have been a little more centrally located.
yeah. Yeah, that was a really really great free kick. Again, like if you guys want to go watch that, go watch that. That's a great goal from Firmino. Unfortunately, Lexington loses again and drops to the bottom of my power rankings. So
Yes, they are struggling for sure. But yeah, I mean, I thought I mean when I watched the highlights in that game, I if I don't catch the game, I usually try to catch the highlights before I catch the scores, just so I
mhm.
can experience it, I guess, quote unquote, live, if you will. And I was very much excited they scored early. I was like, oh, maybe this is a bounce back. This is a catalyst for them, and so yeah, they just kind of fell off after that. All right, so from Monterey Bay, we are heading all the way back across the country to Northern Virginia, the aforementioned and lowly attended Loudoun United. They may be lowly attended, but they are playing fantastic so far this season. So for me, this was the game of the week. You had number one in the league at the time, Charleston Battery, visiting Loudoun. I think they were sitting in third at the time. This game ends in a 1-1 draw. Headline for this game is, two of the Eastern Conference favorites at this point play to a draw. Fireworks from both sides. And there was actually really good opportunities for both Cal Jennings and Abukara, Abtalif Abukara, I believe, is his name. Both those guys are, top three in scoring so far this season. They both had fantastic opportunities, one-on-ones with the goalie that they weren't able to put away. Abukura gets a kind of an assist later in this game, but for both of them, maybe a little disappointed, but they both definitely played the part in this game. For Loudon, at home, 10 shots, three on target, 43% possession. Now Charleston was running rampant coming into this game. They were averaging like the last five games. I think they were averaging close to 3 goals a game. They had 18 shots in this game, eight on target, 57% possession. For Charleston, the other guy who scores a lot of goals, MD Myers, gets a goal in the 43rd minute, and then of MLS fame, again, I'm quotation here, but Moses Nyman on loan, I believe, from Minnesota, in the 67th minute gets a goal here for Loudon. The game was a lot of fun to watch. I did watch the highlights first, and then ended up going back and watching the entire game because it was a ton of action. Like I mentioned, combined they have 28 total shots, 11 of those on target. For Charleston, getting 8 shots on target, only scoring one goal. I can't remember Loudon's keeper's name. He was actually a former Battery goalkeeper, but hats off to him. Made some fantastic saves, including that one-on-one with Cal Jennings. Um, but after this game, it leaves Loudon. They're still in third place, 7 points in the last five. So they have been, a little bit slower as of late, but this is a good result for them at home against Charleston. Charleston in second place. They're 13 points from the last five. And they are still in second place as of today. A game I'm not going to cover, but just got over a little bit ago. Louisville is hosting Rhode Island. Louisville remains in first place after beating Rhode Island tonight. But this game was a lot of fun to watch. I am not going to be surprised if you see these teams either meet in the playoffs, either in the conference semis or the conference finals. They're both very talented and a ton of fun to watch. So if you next time you get a chance to watch either Loudon or Charleston play, it is electric stuff. Some of the best soccer I've seen in the USL this year.
Quick question, serious question. Does Pochettino know who Cal Jennings is, and why was he not on the last roster?
Honestly, on form, like I mean, what a defender from Bethlehem Steel played for USMNT this in one of these games. I think against Switzerland.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, why not, right? Like
Yeah.
the way he's been playing, he's still young, he could be part of the setup. But yeah, all things aside, I mean, no one wants to play for USMNT right now, clearly. So um, anyway, where are we going to next in the Western Conference?
So you just covered a very exciting game. I'm about to cover an incredibly fucking boring game. So we're heading to the Oakland Coliseum, where the attendance was 7,586. Oakland welcomes. They were to see Andy Cabrera, but Oakland ends up drawing with El Paso Locomotive 0-0. Oakland had 51% of the ball. 7 shots, 2 on target, 328 passes. El Paso had 49% of the ball, 10 shots, 3 on target, 318 passes. Something I'll probably get into next week. I didn't want to go into an El Paso story, but a really annoying trend that I've been noticing recently is Wilmer Cabrera's absolute unwillingness to make subs. Like, I swear he would just play all 11, 90 minutes if he could. But his subs are so late and just seem so inopportune. Like, he doesn't give people time to get going and stuff like that. But I will do some numbers crunching, and that'll probably be the subject for El Paso next week, unless they just make me forget it with an amazing performance. But so the storyline this week is going to be get to know Oakland's new manager, Benny Feilhaber.
Failhaber,
Feilhaber?
fail,
Feilhaber.
fail, Failhaber. Yep.
There we go. Okay, so as some of y'all know, Oakland fired manager Gavin Glinton recently, and they've hired Benny. So to get to know him, he was a member of the U.S. men's national team for a while. He was on the 2010 World Cup squad, made some substitute appearance, scored the winning goal in the 2007 Gold Cup off his noggin, I believe, against Mexico. Believe it or not, born in Brazil, 1985. Played for clubs in Germany, England, Denmark, and the U.S., and as well as, or one of those U.S. teams being the MLS retirement home known as Des Moines Menace, as recently
Yes.
as last year.
Yep.
Um, he's mainly coached in academies, but his main managing job was at Sporting KC2 from 2022 to 2025 when both sides parted ways. I guess probably got fired, but yeah. So that's who is
Is
taking over.
can I ask? This is I think I heard this. Maybe you mentioned it. This is the first time Oakland Roots has hired a coach with previous coaching experience, like previous head coaching experience. I think they said that on the broadcast when I was watching the game. Um, that previously all the other coaches Oakland has had has been a coach, but that was their first time as a head coach. This is the first time Oakland's hired somebody with previous head coaching experience.
I don't know that. I mean, I have a hard time considering what is it, MLS DP, or
Listen,
what is it called?
let,
Like,
it's MLS Next Pro, right? Like
yeah,
if we're considering USL League One head coaching experience, then we have to take that into consideration as well. So
academy. He's an academy coach.
yeah, don't get me started on Academy.
So, but yeah, Gavin Glinton, he was promoted from assistant coach to coach, so he was within the organization. But um, yeah, good luck, Benny. You got, like, as I mentioned in one of my storylines in the past week. Oakland has good pieces. It's just they've got to be put together in the right way. So see if he can do it, and it'll be interesting to see.
Absolutely. All right. So I had a fun game last game. I'm gonna mention a lot less fun game. We're going all the way to Rhode Island for another home game for Rhode Island FC hosting Miami FC. And as of today, Rhode Island still hasn't scored a goal in their home stadium. They lose this game to Miami 1-0. Headline here is Miami continues to beat teams despite not needing the ball. And then Bill Hamid ensures Rhode Island is still scoreless at home. He made some incredible saves in the first half when Rhode Island was really pushing. Rhode Island dominated the first half of this game. And honestly, it's incredible they didn't score. But hats off to Bill Hamid. For Rhode Island, they had 13 total shots, 7 on target, 63% of the possession. To Miami, ended up where in the second half they ended up, turning it on a little bit. Ended up with 12 shots, 5 on target. Still only 37% of the ball. They don't need the ball. They're just waiting for those opportunities to get forward. But this goal, the one goal for them comes from Blanco in the 54th minute on a free kick. And honestly, it could have been a Jimmy, what would you do segment because this is super unfortunate. It's a driven shot. It's a knuckler. The goalie dives to his left to punch it away, and just kind of like I hate the expression, but it's fair here. It's soft wrists. Like you got to have strong wrists when you're punching the ball away. You got to hit it right here on the base of your palm, drive the ball away. He kind of flops it a little bit and it ends up going into the corner. Miami's going to take it all day, and that's all they need to win. And I think if I look back, they have like one of the best road records in the Eastern Conference right now. They continue to get wins on the road, just away from the disgusting confines of Pitbull Stadium and their unnatural looking grass. It's a turf field. It's terrible to watch on TV. But so for Rhode Island, like I mentioned, this it's even worse because they did lose tonight. But coming after this game against Miami, they were in eighth place. They'd only had 7 points from the last five. For Miami, they're up to seventh place and 10 points in the last five matches for them. So they are playing well. Recently, Bill Hamid is a big part of that. And they have talent on that roster, and it's starting to show a little bit. So we'll see if they can keep it going. But Miami might be a dark horse for playoffs in the Eastern Conference as we look towards the rest of the season.
Quick question: is Sebastian Blanco the best 37-year-old Argentinian playing in South Florida right now?
No. I can't even make that joke. No. But like apparently no one wants to pay to go see the other 37-year-old in the Club World farce that's going to happen next weekend. Apparently it's gotten so bad that they're trying to give away tickets because no one's paying the exorbitant fees. I'm not even get into the political nature of the other stuff going on to there. But he is not. But no one else is going to these Miami games. The one thing Miami FC does have going for them is those away kits are, they're beautiful white kits with the Miami Miami flag colors on them. They're gorgeous to look at. They might be one that I would consider picking up on eBay in a couple of years. So,
Also Francisco Bonfiglio is a young, talented Argentinian, and I guarantee you there is a Liga MX club that is salivating over him right now. So wait and see on that. But yeah, you're right about that. Levitard show was talking about the Club World Cup, and not to get too deep into it, but just having those two teams open up just based on the strength of Lionel Messi's drawing power is just fucking stupid. Like I hate Real Madrid. But why not open the thing up with them?
They shoehorned Inter Miami into the tournament. They don't belong there. They just needed Lionel Messi in there because again, this is a cash grab cup. And we're getting diverted here, so I'm gonna stop there. But certainly it's just a mess. I told my wife about it, and she's like, "All right, aren't you interested in watching it?" And I told her all of the stuff going on around it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I get it now." So it's really messy, and that wasn't a fun. That just happened. But anyway, where are we going back here in the USL Championship Western Conference? What do you got for us?
So we're going to talk about one of the hottest clubs in USL right now as far as current form. We're going to Phoenix Rising Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona. The attendance in my head, I keep wanting to say population, and it's killing me. The attendance of this game was 4,193. Phoenix wins this game against Orange County 3-1 and stays hot. 61% of the ball for Phoenix, 10 shots, 5 on target. 441 passes to OC, 39%, 10-3, and 254. So, 21st minute, Dariush Formella gets the first goal. The 58th minute, Vuk Latinovic ends up getting the second goal, but for Orange County, I'm sorry. Asel Senge in the 67th minute causes Phoenix to go up 2-1, and Charlie Dennis finishes it off at the 72nd minute. Storyline kind of went into it last week, the week before. We're going to talk about it again. Phoenix is scary. 6-match undefeated streak. They last lost to DCFC on April 12th. 4 wins and 2 draws in that run. 11 goals, 5 goals against. 14 players on Phoenix have scored a goal in league play, and they're now the top scoring club in the West. I'm starting to get nervous. Everyone in the West should start getting nervous. It's hot as shit in Phoenix, and that team is hot too. So, yeah, watch out. Phoenix is coming.
Should unmute. Yeah, for sure. No, I knew it was gonna get me at some point.
Yeah.
They have been fun to watch though. Like
Yeah.
honestly, they've been one that like when I'm looking at the schedule for the weekend, I'm like, I should probably turn on Phoenix. They've been um really entertaining. Um, it's on my bucket list to get out to Phoenix for a game at some point. Looks like a fun stadium.
Oh, Phoenix.
Oh,
Phoenix is dope, dude. Phoenix is a really fun city. I saw Orioles game out there.
okay.
Legal sports gambling too.
Attaboy.
I went full sicko. I bet on a Nisa game. No, that was Vegas. Never mind. I bet on a Nisa
Uh,
game at Vegas.
oh, that's That's like betting on like Indonesian Premier League.
Yeah.
All right. We're next game we're gonna go to aforementioned Louisville, and like I said, they did win against Rhode Island tonight, but at the weekend they hosted the Tampa Bay Rowdies or the Tampa Bay. I don't know. I don't even know what to. I don't have a another word for them. The calm gentles, the Gentiles, the Tampa Bay Gentiles. That's what they'll be until they can find a win. Louisville. So the headline here is Louisville wins again, but it hasn't been pretty. They are boasting the league's best defense. They've only allowed 6 goals in 11 games, but they haven't really throttled anybody. They're not, stepping on people's throats the same way they did last year. Again, they are in the midst of, they're undefeated this season. They are in the midst of a now 17 game unbeaten run. So I'm not taking anything away from them. It's just they tend to score and then just sort of soak it up, right? Like they're not really they're missing that killer instinct. So that having been said, in this game, for them, 11 shots on target. Or, I'm sorry, 11 shots, 3 on target, only 45% possession at home at Lynn Family Stadium against the last place team in the league, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay also generated 11 shots of their own. They generated 4 on target, 55% possession, but only able to get 1 goal in a 2-1 loss. They get goals from Goodrum in the 7th minute and Serrano in the 16th minute for Louisville to go up 2-0, and then Pacius scores for Tampa Bay in the 31st. Tampa Bay just can't quite get that second one to steal a point. It leaves Louisville in first place. 11 points from the last 5. That's a little bit different now after tonight's game, but all the same, Tampa Bay is in dead last in 12th place. Only 2 points from their last 5. Only 1 win on the season, which was against Miami. In Miami. And they play again this upcoming weekend. I would imagine there might be a different scoreline based for both those teams on form. I did want to mention, and I apologize for the author from Beyond the 90 that I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was um I want to say it was Callum Ewing, but I can't remember. Had an article about stadiums and bad ownership. Just about MLB is trying to take away the Rays from their owner, and I can't remember his name, but he also owns the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Apparently, Al Lang Stadium, which seems to have an awesome soccer environment, they've built something fun there out of an old baseball stadium. It's one of the oldest. I mean, it is not continuous, but it is recognized all the way back to NASL days. But Al Lang Stadium's lease is up after next season, and there's already been renderings of the city is not willing to uh, extend the lease for this gentleman because of his bad ownership. In fact, they are looking to tear down Al Lang Stadium and build something else in his place, which begs the question: do the Tampa Bay Rowdies survive Tampa Bay with the current ownership that's in place? And it's just pouring onto an already bad season. But it was a very interesting article. I suggest you go check it out. I will try to find it and have Jake mention it in the blurb that we post after this video. But all things bad right now in Tampa Bay. I am not a Florida guy, but Al Lang Stadium was on my bucket list, and knowing that it might not be here um, in the next year or so means that I might have to make a trip down there to see them play. But not good in Tampa Bay, not good, and they're too talented to be this bad. It can't just be that you lost uh, Cal Jennings. It can't just be that you lost Jordan Farr. There's enough talent and firepower on the team that it's just not acceptable at this point.
I feel bad kind of changing the subject because that does suck about Tampa, but Kyle Adams is fucking good, man. Kyle Adams is a really good defender, and every time he came to town to face El Paso, I fucking hated his guts. So I mean that as like a true compliment of that guy. And of all the guys,
he did have an own goal tonight against Rhode Island.
Oh, he did.
He did, yeah. I mean, it was one of those things you can't do anything about, but still, all of a sudden.
But yeah, of all the guys that Wilmer Cabrera went after, his former RGV players, like Adams is one of those dudes. He played for him at RGV. Like, why would you not go get him? But yeah, super, super good defender, USL lifer at this point, I believe. So he's really talented. And then the last thing, Ray Serrano. Who the fuck allowed this to happen?
You don't like that haircut?
Is he Vulcan?
Listen, man, I don't throw shade at anybody with hair because got nothing going on up top.
I got
I see it.
Italian.
That's
jeans.
Good. That looks like a lot of money to take care of, a lot of haircuts. I don't have to worry about that.
That is true. Well, no, it's I go until the wife starts yelling at me, and then I go get a haircut.
Okay.
So we're headed to Heart Health Park in Sacramento, California, with an attendance of 8,176. What up?
Did you see the mention today that Sacramento just got approval to build a brand new stadium? It's initially going to be, I can't remember where they're going to, but they do have approval from the city. I'll find it and send it to you. It's going to be initially 12,000 with possible expansion out to 20,000 people for Sacramento. So, very exciting times. But like they already had a fun park, but like Sacramento is doubling down on their investment with a new stadium coming in the next 5 years, I think.
That's awesome. I mean, good for them. I mean, who wants to go watch the Kings when you can watch Sac Republic? So Sacramento welcomes Tulsa to town, gets choked out, losing 0-1. Sacramento, 68% of the ball, 6 shots, only 1 on target, 405 passes. And then your typical, incredible Tulsa game, 32% of the ball, 3 shots, 2 on target, 142 passes, 74 in the first half, 68 in the second. You ended up with a red card for Tulsa. Owen Dom ended up getting his second yellow in the 86th minute. So goals, Tulsa starts off fast. 10th minute, Khalil El Medkar gets the goal. And then they do what Tulsa does best, and they just hold your head underwater, and they win the game. So not a lot to talk about. I'm sure everyone's sick of me just praising Tulsa all the time. So the story is Tulsa sends Stefan, here we go, Stojanovic to Las Vegas Lights for an undisclosed fee. The 24-year-old has 8 goal involvements and 46 appearances for Tulsa. I believe he played college ball at Georgetown. I don't know if he was involved in the draft, but I know he played some MLS and some MLS2 shit. He only made 6 appearances this season. Somebody needs to score goals in Vegas, and maybe they think, Stefan can do it for him. So, yeah, that's the storyline. You got a transfer, interleague transfer.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Making moves. All right. Last match, and I'm going to duck out of the way so you can see this beautiful stadium behind me here. This here is Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh. Uh, a objectively gorgeous stadium along the river in downtown Pittsburgh. It's on the bucket list for me to make it to a game at some point. Um, Glad I didn't make it this game because they they absolutely smothered Detroit City in their sleep. A 2-0 win. I've been giving Pittsburgh a lot of crap about not being able to score, but here we are. They took it to Detroit. So the headline here is Pitt dominates Detroit at home for the second straight win. Uh, Maybe Dichio needs to move on. I've been calling for Bob Lily's head, but Danny Dichio really should be, talked about. The Detroit is really turned into a pumpkin. They are the second worst team in the Eastern Conference since the beginning of May. They've only collected 3 points in the last 5, and I'll get to that in a second. But in this game, Pittsburgh, 13 total shots, 5 on target. I'm sorry, 10 total shots, 5 on target. Only 44% of the possession. So like, oh, Detroit, you had possession, 56% of possession. What'd you do with it? They generated 1 shot, 0 on target. They are so like, and I had this conversation when I was in Louisville, like 2 months ago, for the game with some like their midfield is so lost. Like they have, the core guys in the defense, and they're decent defensively still, but when it comes to connecting defense to offense, there is nobody in the midfield. Maxi Rodriguez is gone. He was the catalyst for that. I can't find for the life of me a reason why Abdoulaye Diop is not played. He's still listed on the roster, but he's another one that's been missing. And the guys that have been in there, and I'm not gonna call them out specifically by name, are not getting the job done. They seem to have found a striker who can score in Darren Smith, but if you can't get him the ball, it doesn't matter. Guenzati has been largely a useless signing for them because again they can't get the ball forward. This team is in shambles. They are like I said, like I mentioned, second worst team in the Eastern Conference, outside of Tampa Bay. For Pitt, good result for them. They sit now in 6th place, 7 points in the last 3, including 2 wins in the last 2 games. I'm sorry, 7 points in the last 5, 2 wins in the last 2 games. Detroit CFC still in 5th place, but only 3 points in the last 5 is not going to get it done. This team needs something. They need a spark somewhere. I give DCO a hard time. He's a good coach, but we're out of ideas. It's gotten to a point that it's very clear. This comes on the back of last weekend's absolute thumping in Portland, in the Jägermeister Cup. It's it's not good. Things are not pointing in the right direction. Making the playoffs is not acceptable if you're going to play this level of soccer. Um, just disappointment. But I think it's I think it's certainly warranted based on the output the last month and a half. So not a good way, but I had to acknowledge, the beautiful backdrop and the terrible game that took place in that beautiful backdrop last Saturday.
The
All right, yeah, go ahead.
The haters wrote Bob Lilly off, but he didn't write back.
I mean, it's still not pretty. Augie Williams still can't score. Um, I think that they're happy, but they're not. I mean, they're happy they're in the playoff spot, but they're not impressing anybody by any means. So
No. So we're gonna go to the Canardo Forbes Player of the Week, and there's a lot to choose from this week, but I had to go with Dariush Formella of Phoenix. Super impressive game. 23-27 passes, leading the line, 1 goal, 2 assists, also 2 of 2 on long balls. He was responsible for every goal in that game, and leading the line for Phoenix has to be so much fun just because of how fast and strong they are right now. So, yeah, Canardo Forest Player of the Week, Phoenix's Dariush Formella.
no, I like it. Um, my update for the Nate Steinwatcher Gold Glove watch for the season. The man, until somebody else makes a difference here, he sits on the throne. It's still Nico Campuzano, and I know that he got scored on, but as we mentioned earlier, it was a fantastic free kick from Firmino. But he still sits there with 48 saves, 3 shutouts. He's a large part of the reason why Monterey Bay is even in the conversation in the Western Conference. But I do want to give a shout out, and his stats don't exactly blow you off the charts here. But if you look at the performance from the team he's on, since he has come into the starting lineup, it's Bill Hamid. He made seven or eight saves in the game against Rhode Island at the weekend. It takes him up to 27 saves total. He does only have 1 shutout on the season, but he's made a huge impact and makes the right plays at the right time. Veteran leadership for that squad. And Miami's on the up, and a large part of that is what Bill has done. So I do want to give him a shout out. He is our OLI for right now, but Nico is holding the throne as we speak.
Bill Hamid, former Bobcat. I'm required by law to mention that.
How many appearances did he make for the Bobcats?
He made a good amount. I think it was like he came in like towards the end of the season, which was wild because Jake Boyle was having a tremendous season. Obviously, Bobcats were head and shoulders above everyone, but yeah, Boyle was having a great season, and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, like my phone starts blowing up, and it's Mike, it's Alex, it's Kalen. Boom, 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 boom. Bill Hamid, Bill Hamid, Bill Hamid. And like, oh shit, like a former US men's national team player is on the fucking Bobcats. So
He's had a journey since last couple of years, but like
yeah.
it is fun, and he is still quality, especially for this league. So hats off to him.
Yeah, good dude too. Really nice guy. The interactions I had on social media with him, he actually would chat with you. But so we're gonna wrap up with a we play two, and then I don't know if you have a rant, but I do.
I'll let you close it out with the rant. Let's
Okay.
do we play too.
So I know you have feelings on this rant as well. So we play two. I'll go ahead and share mine. This past Saturday, I had a fantastic game. Other than the video that I sent Jimmy that shows me almost giving up a super easy goal. Snagged everything that came my way, made some big saves. Still struggling with closeouts in that size of a field, but I'm getting used to it. And then Monday had a huge win in indoor. We played really, really well. Me included. Sun was in my eyes as well, so no big deal. But and then this Friday, I am in a, I think 4-week long battle with an ingrown toenail at this point. I'm sure everyone wanted to hear that. I've been cleaning that son of a bitch up, just trying to get my foot right. It's affecting me again right now, so I'm trying to get that cleaned up for Friday. I have a tryout for a team as a goalkeeper, and I think my greatest attribute is that there aren't that many goalkeepers in this league. So we will see what happens. And then, so what's up with you, Jimmy?
Oh man, so this week, Monday indoor was rough. Loss. I played terrible. played really bad. So probably the worst game I've had this year. But then Tuesday, Los Cuervos Negros, we're on this the second start of the second half of the season. Um, get a win, 5-2. I was able to score my third goal of the season, which is crazy. I'm up to 7 goal involvements now, 3 goals, 4 assists in outdoor for the first place team in the league. It's been fun from that standpoint, but I have a giant ice pack on my knee right now, trying to reduce some swelling. I'm probably even going to take next week off because very soon I will be traveling down to the desert and trying to play in this Saturday league with Jake in El Paso. So I want to be healthy for that. Indeed, I'm signed up. I'm ready to come play. So um yeah, so I'm just trying to get healthy for that and so be quiet next week for me.
The guy who's underneath you on that
Mhm.
thing, Jose Camacho, he is the leading scorer in the league. I don't know if you noticed that. 59 goals. The next highest is 25. This guy,
So
yeah,
so I want to be on his team. Is that what you're saying?
he's very talented. He's a little bit loud and he just kind of yells at people and then he's definitely a James Harden type. He's a volume shooter. He's going to get his. He's going to yell at you if you hold on to the ball too long. And he's got some big ass quads. But a nice guy. Everyone there for the most part is nice. And it's a lot of fun. But I want to go ahead and launch into a rant real quick. I wanted Mike here for it with for Jimmy and Jake Save US Soccer, but just to all the people out there that maybe like it's fine if national team soccer is like your introduction to the sport. It was to me, or it was for me. Like 2002 Brazil, as many of you heard on the Rooster and the Villain Premier League show. Like that was what made me like the sport. So like World Cup made me like the sport. But this this obsession with the men's national team is just irritating to me for some reason. I don't understand it. And Jimmy is a Canada fan. But like to all the American commentators out there, the Landon Donovans, the people that your soccer identity is the men's national team, um, lower your expectations. Just lower your expectations. Like Christian Pulisic is a good player. He's nowhere near elite, or as that fucking Pawn Stars guy called him, the LeBron James of soccer. He's
Oh
not.
God.
He's not that. Weston McKennie is a good player. He is not an elite player. Uh, Diego Luna is an elite player, and he's the future. And
Oh,
you should
take
you
no,
should
take it easy.
you should put all your hopes in the Diego Luna. I love that kid. But no, seriously, like lower your fucking expectations. I you look at what goes on with these summer tournaments. Why the fuck is the Gold Cup the year before the World Cup? And then you want to get mad at someone like Christian Pulisic, who is playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world, who gets to play Champions League soccer every season and does well
Next
for
year.
AC Milan. Why do you want him to come home and mess up his career by one coming back to, well, I mean, he really likes the president. We won't get into that. But coming back to a country that's super fucked up right now. And number two, dodging fucking horror tackles from Hondurans and Salvadorians in a cup that, like, I'm sure it's important to people like Landon Donovan where that was all they had to make their career matter, but it just, like, the Gold Cup doesn't fucking matter. Like Poch can figure things out. That's the other thing too, is like the whole managerial thing. Like, do you want to jump in with anything before I keep going?
No, I mean like
Oh,
they're
okay.
like the whole 4 losses in a row is
Yeah.
is uh, is, is a stupid thing to get upset about because it doesn't matter. We're talking about friendlies. Like I don't want to be AI here. We're talking about practice. But like we're talking about friendlies with guys that most of the guys you saw the last 2 games aren't even going to be on the roster. when it comes to like the World Cup. And that having been said, even when all of the best players are there, they're still bang average. Like United States is not seriously competing for the World Cup next year. It's going to be fun. The World Cup is always fun, but you have to temper your expectations. And this whole idea that that somehow playing in the Gold Cup is gonna, bring cohesion and stuff like that is a joke. Landon Donovan. Oh, I mean, I did
Dweeb.
I
He's a
I did
dweeb.
what? Yeah, I did watch the Turkey game because I was trying to get a view of Ozcan, the center back that Villa signed. He didn't end up playing, but I did watch it on silent because God help me, it's so fucking miserable to listen to Fox announce. And that's where I'm going to leave my bitching and ranting. But yeah, like take a deep breath. America
Yeah.
fans, take a deep breath. You're fine. I mean, you're fine for what you are, but know what you are. Stay in your lane.
Yeah. And it's by the way, Peacock has the Spanish broadcast. That's where I watch it. But yeah, like the whole managerial thing, like I wanted Berhalter gone because I'm a hater and he played for Palace and he just seemed like an annoying human being. The Gio Reyna thing was stupid and all that. But like this whole idea of like, oh, this manager will save us or this manager's tactics will save us. And I don't know if that harkens back to 2010 Spain, but everyone always is like, oh, this tiki taka thing, like play from the back. Do people not realize why that worked? Is because every one of those motherfuckers played for Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then
Atletico,
D-
a little bit, yeah.
Dav- David Villa was still technically Valencia at that point. I think he
Huh.
was making his transfer.
Take it easy. Take it
Yeah,
easy. You
still
just
technically
throw
Valencia. Excuse me, but Valencia.
shoehorn that in there.
Yeah. So he they were playing that system since they were little fucking kids, like the Spanish way. The US is way too big to have some sort of like tactical similarity in their playing style. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel with these managerial ideas. Like why the fuck are we it's what's the word I'm looking for? Like this goes into the lowering your expectations thing. We are not that good. We are not going to play possession soccer against teams like Spain, against teams like the Netherlands. You know what? Shit, even against teams like fucking Turkey. Like we're not going to play possession based soccer against these guys. Just counterattack. Play good defense, good goalkeepers, and which we
What good
which we don't have.
goalkeepers?
Yeah, we don't have a good goal. Matt Turner is bad. What was one of the things? Top 5 keepers better than Matt or yeah, better than Turner? A swarm of bees.
Yeah, my 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's
shit.
bad, man. And all of them, that's the other thing too. Like the last thing I'll go into again with the lower your expectations. These guys keep making moves to these teams that they have no fucking business starting on. And everyone wants to talk about, oh, playing the Gold Cup, playing the Gold Cup. Play on your fucking club. Musa should not have gone to Napoli. Turner should not have gone to fucking Lyon. Like these guys are not going to play on these teams, and you guys want to get mad at them for skipping the U.S. men's national team. You should get mad at them for going to these fucking high level clubs that they don't matter at. Tyler Adams is the smartest one of the bunch. He's on fucking Bournemouth, where he's getting minutes. He's getting all the minutes, and that's what you want.
When he's healthy.
Yeah, when he's healthy. So send these guys to places like where's Cardoso playing? Is he at Betis?
He is, but talking about maybe Atletico
Yeah,
or Tottenham. Tottenham has the first right refusal on him, so he could be on the move. But he had a fantastic season. Like
yeah,
he's arguably on form the best midfielder in the setup right now. So
yeah. And I mean, just go somewhere where you're going to play. Go to the Dutch league. Go to mid-table La Liga where you're not going to get run into the dirt like you would in the Premier League, or you're not going to get fucking beat up like you are in the Italian league. Like just go somewhere where you're going to play. Lower your expectations. Fans, managers, players. And I know this is coming a lot from me who plays 7-on-7 in Horizon fucking Texas. You guys are all way better than me, but I'm good at my actual job. Like, I'm really good at my actual job. So lower your fucking expectations. Go to teams you can play on, play tactics that you can play, and to the fan, realize that we're not that fucking good. Jimmy, anything else?
No, I think that was pretty poignant. Also, elbows up, go Canada.